Paintings like these give us a snapshot of the world we live and the history that goes with it. It's a visual reminder of how we felt when. The images collected in the wake of protests have been countless, but Indianapolis-based artist Courtland Blade has collected a few of them and transferred them onto canvas. These are more than art. They have a purpose. They tell a story.
This body of work was dealing with kind of the reflection of the responses to the tragedies happening in the last 2 months. The heightened quality of murders and brutality by officers to black people and people of color. And then the response of the nation, but specifically our city, and how we responded as a people. Knowing how we responded in the past while other nations rioted, at times we had peace, so seeing how we responded today, seeing who we are, what issues should be kind of highlighted and shifted and changed, and what might be pulled on or looked at, but has always been there,
As an artist, how much of the world around you plays into the creative process?
Well, everything. So everything around is really a filter. Well, I guess I'm the filter, but everything around feeds in to the process. So the aesthetic components are always there. But then my personal experience as a black male, my age, all those things factor into what I create.
What was your emotion or what went through your mind when you saw the George Floyd video and you saw the aftermath of everything that happened?
Well, the George Floyd incident, that by itself was, it felt like we got pulled back, like almost like we went backwards in time to a certain extent. Because of in 2020, you would think we wouldn't see things to that full extent. We know the shootings were still happening, but for a man to press his leg on a man's neck till he died, and to have that kind of a disregard of life, that was another level,
And then the aftermath, all the protests,
Yes.
all the rallies, what was that like, being able to witness all that unfold in your own city?
Yeah, so that, at first it was like, okay, this is happening. Then it's like, then you start looking and thinking about history, and then you really see the historic impact of it, how the responses were during the civil rights movements, what the responses were, what the results were, and then today, what our approach is, and what the response was, and then hopefully the shift that will come after. So it really felt like a pivotal, historic moment that was happening within our city.
You have so many different pieces around here. Talk about what was the process in determining which images to put on canvas. Were there other images you started and you said, well, I think this one's going to be more impactful? How'd you develop which pieces would go into this?
Yes, so I tried to pick images. They all have an aesthetic quality, like I say, artistic component dealing with art history and things of that nature. But the statements that were written, the composition, so images like we have the young lady who was out after curfew, then how the police dealt with that situation. Finding a visually striking image that would really draw the person into the image, then make them ask the question, what happened here? What's going on? So also with the text, we have the text on the various walls and bridges and things of that nature. They all had very important statements like, stop killing us, we need peace. One particular one I saw said, can you hear me now? Can you hear us now? And that one I couldn't capture it. I was gonna go back, but it had already been painted over. So I wish I had got that one for a scene, but so I got a lot of the images I wanted to get, but a few eluded me to a certain extent.
Now it's interesting you say, can you hear us now? A lot of people feel like the response, either through protest, violence, destruction, well, why are you doing it that way? What do you say to people when they question how someone reacts to trauma or to sadness? What do you say to people?
Well, I used to think when I was younger, why would you tear up the area? Then Martin Luther King said that violent protests essentially is the voice of the unheard. To get people's attention, you have to essentially hit people where it hurts. So if you tear up something expensive, it gets attention. It gets people to look and see what's going on. Why are you doing this? And that's them really trying to be heard.
Do you feel now that people are starting to be heard? Do you feel like that conversation is moving forward?
Yes, I certainly do. That's one of the reasons why I felt that kind of historic shift. You really saw that people were responding, people of all different backgrounds, people of, I guess you would call it elite level in society, all the way down to the average. You see the conversation happening at every level.
What do you hope your artwork brings to this continued conversation, or what do you hope it brings to the continued movement and push for change?
Well, hopefully, again, it was trying to make a spotlight on the unheard voices, the voices of the people, what they were saying. So hopefully it helped draw people to it, analyze what needs to be done, what needs to be changed. And also it's for me, oil is a historic medium. It's something that captures history and holds it. So this is something that will actually hold history as well, and we won't forget that moment. These shifts that we saw happen in the past few months, we might not see it again, but you won't forget about it. So this also helps with that kind of memory, solidifying what happened.